Hi everyone, Dr. Melissa here, and today we're going over the best exercises for ankle sprain recovery. I'm currently going through this right now. If you're looking to get rid of pain, swelling, start getting that range of motion and strength and stability back, this will be the perfect class for you. If you're new around here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel out and I appreciate it. One thing if you happen to have, but you don't need, go ahead and grab a tennis, lacrosse ball, a golf ball will also work. All right, go grab those mats and let's do this. All right, let's get those ankles feeling better. But first, I would love to know down below in the comments, how did you sprain your ankle? I sprained mine when I was carrying my PT table. I was walking down some steps. I turned to look, wasn't paying attention, and before you knew it, I was down on the ground and had rolled my ankle. Wish I had a better story than that, but the stairs got me. So this video is going to be for you if you're like me in this acute phase. Your ankle is swollen, it's really painful, and we want to work on getting that swelling down, getting more range of motion back into that joint. If you're not having so much pain walking around, you want to get back to your running, jumping, and more strengthening and stability, I've got another video coming out that you're going to want to check out for that. Will be linked down below. So when we're in that acute phase, first thing we want to do is the rice. Resting, icing, compression, and elevating. And really trying to avoid things that are hurting. If you're hobbling around and it's hurting, don't do that. It's going to delay your healing. If you've been up and active a little too much, lay down, elevate the leg, put some ice on it. I've been doing that recently. Sitting still is definitely driving me crazy, but I can tell you it has helped me progress along way quicker than I thought I was going to. So make sure you're resting, icing, compression, and elevating that leg. The next thing that can be really helpful in this acute phase is I have been using some Kinesio tape to help add a little bit of compression around that joint. So I'm going to show you what I've been doing for my ankle. So the Kinesio tape is just that stretchy tape. When we sprain our ankles, our ligaments just get stretched out a little bit, so it's a little lax in that area. All the tape is going to do is just give you that compression around. So I like to split the tape, open that up. I'm gonna put it around the back of my Achilles and just lay that down gently. And then I'm gonna add some tension to it, pulling it around my outside ankle bone, and then just lay the tape down there. And then the same thing on this side. Just give it that gentle little pull and cross it in the front. And it just gives you that little extra support, okay? Then when we sprain our ankles, all of the muscles tend to get really tight because they're working so hard. This one has been super helpful for me and so many of my clients, a myofascial release technique. If you happen to have a tennis ball, a golf ball, a yoga block, you can use some books or steps, but you don't need. We're gonna work on loosening up this calf muscle. So take the ball, place it on top of that block, and then you're just gonna gently place your foot or your calf up. I want you to find a spot that's like, oh my goodness. Once you find your spot, maybe you hold it there. Maybe you put your other foot and just try to breathe, soften down into it. With myofascial release, you want to be really careful, only 30 or 60 seconds in each spot, because you can overhydrate those tissues and just make them stiffer. And maybe you look for a couple of spots. Maybe it's more painful along the inside or more tension on the inside. I definitely feel that outside tension. They're different muscles, so I'm going to show you that in a minute. Along the outside, those ones are called your peroneals. And just looking for those different spots, holding. Now, if you feel like you can move your ankle without increasing the pain in that ankle area where you injured it, you can just gently point the toes down and then pull them back up. Just another part of a myofascial technique that you can do, point down and back up. I've been having a hard time moving my ankle without it really hurting. So just gradually working in and out, using that breath. Good. And let's just find one more spot. Maybe you kind of roll more towards the outside part of your calf. Maybe you get into a little bit of those outside muscles, which are here. Those guys are called your peroneals. And you find a couple other spots, loosening up. The best thing you can do is just try to use your breath. And of course, if it reproduces any pain down in your ankle, avoid this. But this is a really great technique to help loosen up that calf muscle. Okay, let's put that ball off to the side. Next one, since you're not really moving around as much as you are, we want to start to get a little bit of range of motion into the ankle joint. You can keep using the block if you'd like. You could prop it up on a step. You don't even need to do that. But since I've got my block here, propping my leg up, and I'm just going to gently point my foot down and then pull it up. This is a great way to help get rid of some inflammation in the area as well. The calf muscle is helping pump that fluid out. And just gently easing in and out, not forcing anything, but you're just being nice and gentle. Maybe it's feeling good. You can start to do some gentle circles with that ankle, staying within a range that feels very comfortable for you. Just gently moving in. And then as your ankle starts to feel better, you can go a little bit further with each of these. Maybe switch directions with those circles. But the key thing at this phase is to really make sure you're avoiding pain. It's going to just delay your healing with it. So learning to listen to our bodies definitely teaches us some patience for sure. Everything's taking me like 10 times longer than it used to, but taking it slow because I want to get better. Good. You can do about 10 of those each direction. Same thing with pointing up and down. Another way we can get some good range of motion into that ankle, if you have the block, great, you can use that. If not, you can still use the ground. So we're going to take that foot, place it on top of the block, and you'll just gently move your knee forward over your toes. You might feel a little stretch in the back of your calf, and then we're going to back off. Little gentle stretch moving forward, and then back off. Same thing, we don't want to be feeling any pain on the outside of that ankle. Maybe a gentle stretch. You might feel some pressure in the front of the ankle joint. As long as it's not pain, that's okay. Just gently moving in and out. Good. Same thing with this. Maybe you do it 10, 15 times, holding just a couple seconds, easing in and out. So we'll do 2 more here. Bring that leg in and back out. Each time, maybe you can go just a little bit further. Awesome. And then coming off of that, now another thing, since maybe when you're walking around, you're taking shorter steps, I've noticed my left hip starts to get super tired and tight. I will link a video above for some myofascial release techniques to help loosen up this hip. The other thing that's really important is just getting our glutes to fire up. So a great way we can do that is coming onto our hands and knees. And you'll just take that leg, send your leg straight back. You want to make sure the hips are facing the ground, and just gently float your leg up and back down. Kick that leg up and then bring it back down. So we're just firing up our glutes. Haven't been in that full gait cycle where we get to push off. So making sure those glutes stay nice and strong. It'll help take some pressure off of our ankle. Good. You want to make sure you're feeling it right in your glute versus in the back of your thigh or in your low back. So be really careful with moving like this. Just gently lift the leg up and back down. Neutral spine. You can exhale like you're blowing out candles and see if that helps you fire up that glute a little bit more. And this one, I would definitely do this one on both sides to keep you nice and even. So let's switch it over towards the other side. Kick that leg back, reach through your heel. So imagine that heel is going up against the wall behind. Little tap and lift. Lifting and lowering. Keep using your breath, lengthening out. press into those palms and just compare one side to the other. Do you notice one side's a little harder to fire up than the other one? And just making note, not judging, just observing it and seeing what you feel. Keep pressing into those hands. So you want to go until you feel a good burn kind of in that sit bone, firing up your glutes area. And we'll do 3, 2, last 1. Awesome, come back down. Okay, so now we're gonna come up to standing. So if right after you sprained your ankle, you had a hard time walking around and maybe you were hobbling, we wanna start to get back into normalizing our walking patterns. So first, just standing with those feet about hip distance apart and just see about weight shifting. Put a little bit of weight onto that sprained ankle side. Notice what you're feeling. If it's hurting, maybe a little less pressure until you don't feel that pain. And then weight shift off. Put a little pressure onto that side, little weight shift, and then come off. And then again, little more weight and back off. So just gently going from side to side. If this is feeling awesome, you've got this covered, no problems with this, we're gonna start to stagger your feet. So put one foot in front of the other, and then just gently shift your weight forward, and then shift your weight backwards. This is starting to get into that gait pattern, normalizing our gait. Maybe you need to put your hand on something and hold on, and that's perfectly okay with this. But remembering that pain, that's our body's signal, just back off a little bit. And then with these, do about 10 each side. And then we'll switch, and we're gonna put the other foot in front and take the other leg back. So this one's pretty hard for me. So I'm gonna have a much shorter stance on this side. I'm just gonna back off to it. And then this step forward. Good, back off and lean forward into it. And really listening to your body. Trying to use your breath when we're in pain. We'll grip and hold everything, and sometimes that can just make it worse. So try to soften, ease into it. Getting our glutes fired up, using that breath. And when you're standing too, getting the muscles in the bottom of your feet fired up can be really helpful. Spread your toes. Spread those toes apart and push down through the mound of your big toe. And when I mean that mound of your big toe, it's this area right here. And that's gonna get those tiny little muscles on the bottom of your feet firing up. So just standing and spreading your toes will help to bring back in some of that strength and stability around that ankle joint. All right, those were the exercises that you can add into your daily routine, maybe doing them a couple of times. But remember, listen to your body. Avoid that pain while you're in this acute phase. Awesome job with those ankle exercises. Remember, the most important thing during this acute phase is that you are not pushing through the pain, because that can really delay your recovery time. I know, I've tried. If you're looking for more strengthening, stability, ankle sprain, recovery, and rehab video, I'll put the link down that below so you can get back to your running, jumping, all those plyometric exercises. Keep up the great work, and until next time, namaste.